When I was 14, I longed to be outgoing, popular, hang with the cool kids, but I just didn't know how to make that happen. I was a new army transplant to Stuttgart, Germany, and I usually had my nose in a book and I was shy and awkward, and had a mother who never ran out of ways to publicly embarrass me. You see, my mom was a strident, she was a ninja feminist. She made Gloria Steinem seem timid and conventional. She was a German immigrant who literally sang her anthem song, I am woman, hear me roar, like a soulful Marlene Dietrich. Inwardly, I always cringed and just wished she could be more like June Cleaver. She was married to an Army first sergeant, but maverick that she was, conducted herself like a general. Barely 5'3", she stood out with blazing red hair, freckles, and a bravado that either irritated or endeared her to you. So it was 1975, and there were hundreds of small communities, small overseas communities, and they had a wide network of youth rec centers. Go up to the center, Petra, and sign up for girls' basketball, my mom ordered me one day as I was enjoying a good book. She's always bugging me about playing sports. I don't know how to play basketball. But I agreed to go because I was afraid of her. Sweet relief when I came skipping home to tell her, guess what, Mama, there's not a team this year. In my age bracket, there aren't enough girls who are interested. And thinking, that was that. Just retired to my room and keep reading my book. Unbeknownst to me, my mother was going to change that situation. And she began waging her own one-woman lobbying campaign with the United States Army. Using her powers of sway with the other generals and their wives, she argued, the Army has an obligation to uphold Title IX. That's the 1973 law that bans discrimination in sports on the basis of sex. And since there's not a girls' team this year, my daughter should play on the boys' team. Now, I'm in the 9th grade, and I have zero interest in playing on any basketball team, much less a boys' team. I came home from school one day, and my mom greets me at the door, proudly beaming. Guess what, Petra? You're on the boys' basketball team. And practice is tomorrow at 7 o'clock. What? What have you done, Mama? No, I don't want to play on the boys' basketball team. I don't even know how to dribble a ball. Listen, you'll just have to learn how to play. See, to my mom, I was an ingrate. You don't know the ranks I had to pull to make sure you have your civil rights. You're playing on the boys' team, and that's it? Frankly, I didn't care about my civil rights. A non-athletic girl like myself who really just wanted to impress the boys, I knew this was going to make me look foolish. You've ruined my life, Mama! And at that point of our argument, the doorbell rings. I answered the door, and there's my friend Paula Bullard, standing there with the biggest smile plastered on her face. You see, Paula likes the idea of playing on a boys' team, and Paula's dad is the team coach. Where's your mom? I want to hug her, knowing that it was my mother who got us on the team. And seeing her stand behind me, she pushes me aside and says, Mrs. Smeltzer, I love you. And by the way, my dad can't stand you. Thus began my new life, playing basketball with the guys at night. So, was I surprisingly a good ball player? Absolutely not. Paula and I played third string, but Coach Bullard called us hope. We knew we were hopeless. I played like a spastic Jerry Lewis, which made practice a soul-shattering experience for me because I would always have to watch the guys roll their eyes and groan at me as I was trying to do a layup and usually hit myself in the face with the ball. And games were the worst. I was a terrible player, but I never sat the bench. This is 1975, and we were the very first girls on a boys' Army Youth Rec League. We were a spectacle, and we drew crowds to each and every game. 2 minutes into each game, the crowd would begin chanting, "Let the girls play! Let the girls play!" And Coach Bullard would always stick my skinny butt in first. I'd always feel like I was fresh meat thrown into the Coliseum. And the two cutest and coolest guys, Mark Goodman and Hud Stoner, Stud as we used to call him, would intercept me on the court and say, "Remember, don't touch the ball. If you get the ball and the ball comes to you, you throw it back to one of us right away." I just look up at the bright lights, the hungry crowd, and think, why do I have to be a pawn in my mother's feminist aspirations? Last game. 1 minute to go. We were ahead 20 points. And Hud Stoner passes the ball to me. I catch it, but I'm confused because I'm usually never even allowed to touch the ball. And I look at him and he nods, indicating that I should shoot it. So, with my best underhand shot, I sent that ball sailing into the air, and I watch as it hits the backboard, and ricochets off the rim, and then hits the backboard again, and then goes back up in the air, and then hits the rim and wobbles and swish. The guys on my team went wild, and let me tell you, the bus ride home, I was a superstar. Hud sat next to me on the bus ride home and asked me if I was going to the dance tonight, and I said, "Uh-huh." "Save a slow dance for me?" I was like, "Uh-huh." And the guys in the bus, they all shouted out in unison, "Our girl scored 2 points! Our girl scored 2 points!" And now I was their girl. And as their girl, postseason, a group of them coached me for 6 months, and I became good enough to make the women's basketball team in high school that next fall. My mom worked very hard to give me the gift of feminism. "You are strong and you can do anything." But more importantly, that year, my mom actually helped me achieve the thing I desired most. My mom gave me the gift of popularity.